And we've left Innamincka. We're heading off to Monte Carlina Bore. As a little red car goes, it's a little bit of a squiggle down south, so we're not travelling in a straight line, but we're going to where we want to go. Monte Carlina Bore, well, there's no border. Lots of sand dunes, lots of hilly things. This is a great panoramic photo that Josh took, but there was really nothing there. It was just so vast, and without the sand dunes, there was not much else, was there?
No. It used to have a bore, some water in it, and it was closed a few years ago. It's just off the Strzelecki track. There was quite a few vehicles came in after us.
And then the next day we took off from Monte Carlina Bore to Maree, which we were excited about. We'd heard a fair bit about Maree and didn't get to go on our last trip. So we started heading up a bit more north this time. And there's a bit of a time lapse. That was a quick time lapse. A lot of the stations are unfenced, looking out for wildlife. Unfortunately, we didn't actually see any wildlife, odd cow or two, but nothing like our last trip where we saw brolgas and things like this.
We had to stop along the way. We had a couple of incidents. We've lost the Anderson plug. I hadn't put it in hard enough, and it had come off on the track and was absolutely shredded by all the rocks and bouncing around. So we've lost a plug. We've lost a few wires, and I've explained a bit more about that in a later video. But we also had a stone chip from a passing vehicle, and that's coming up soon. But it hit my driver's side window, and it has made a big chip, and then it started cracking. Well, one crack went up and two cracks went down, and we stopped and tried to repair it, and we weren't really sure what we were doing. Hopefully it's worked. It's a bit of a dodgy job.
It's still cracked. This looks like a little drone on the window, but it's part of the repair kit. And the actual chip itself is gone. It's just the cracks that are there now. I can't believe this chip that was this big chunk in the middle was taken out. It's just gone. So this resin is great, but it does look like a little drone attached to the window. That has come off. The sticky tape things are supposed to come off, but we've left them on there as well. Next time we stopped, it was for Farina, which is quite educational, actually. It's an old town that's now just ruins. They are trying to actually do it all up and make some sort of history component out of it.
It's about 20 k's south of Maree. It was an old stopping point for a lot of the drovers back in the 1800s. They had a post office, a couple of pubs, bakery, and a few other places. It was quite interesting. They've actually got a campground out the back. What's next? It was quite a big town. We were surprised how big it was. It actually had a war memorial out the back too, near the camping grounds, and a lot of information about the people who from the area who went off to the First World War and a little bit in the Second.
This was just more down the street, which we just thought was a weird sign. And then we got excited when we saw the signs of the Maree hotels. I had to take a photo of that. We've been driving for a while at this point. And very excited to be looking forward to Maree, and we knew that we were stopping at Marla after that. We did about 200 metres of the Birdsville track just for fun.
We had to do that. We were up there. We had to do it.
Josh drove up and did a U-turn, drove back. And finally we got to Maree, which, look, it's a nice pub. It's an okay pub. It's a big old two-storey thing. It was okay. It wasn't quirky. It wasn't weird. It wasn't one of the ones that we really love.
It had free camping out the back with showers and toilets, all diesel.
Not free diesel.
$2.90 a litre for diesel. Crikey.
And then we headed off up the Oodnadatta track, which was obviously a bucket list for us. It did say it was four-wheel drive only to where we were going, but we rang up and it was totally okay for us to go. Four-wheel drive only usually means that you can't tow, but they said it was fine for us. So after Maree, we headed on up to Udnadatta. So we're sort of heading northwestish at this point. Lots of corrugated roads still.
It was a big day, 400 k's.
Big day. And there was lots of ruins along the way, although we reckon we could have restored this one and lived in it. Didn't look too bad.
It was all right.
And, it's a bit of a time lapse how the scenery changed. So when they talk about, in songs and in poems about the scenery changing in front of you, it's just insane how much it really does. And we came across these sculptures, which I didn't know about, but Josh did.
Yeah, I'd seen a bit there. I don't know why or who's done it or for whatever reason, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. Something to break up the long drive.
Yeah, so we took a few photos of those because, educational stuff.
Yeah, it's probably maybe an hour out of Maree.
And some of them were really quite big. So this photo here is of these plain. You can see our car and trailer in the background there. They're really quite big. This was a ladder with some hubcaps on it. I mean, I don't know what art is, but, you know, I don't know if it's that. I mean, I can do that. Well, I'll give it a fair crack anyway.
We're doing more rubbish.
Yeah, but it was good. And then this one was a cute little man or whatnot. So there was quite a few, actually. So we walked around for a little bit, getting dive bombed by Corellas and that, which had made homes out of the plains. But, yeah, it was quite good. And, it does. It breaks up the trip, doesn't it?
It's good to get out and stretch your legs.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So have a look at those, peeps. We knew that we were heading off to Williams Creek, so that was, and Marla eventually, so that was exciting for us to see those signs. And we also knew we were going to stop at Coward Springs. We've got some photos coming up of there. But this is what?
This is Lake Eyre South. It's big salt lake. Huge.
And there's a map just showing you how big it really is. I'm surprised it hasn't got an Aboriginal name. And Coward Springs. So this was a 29-degree bore that you can actually get in. So, you know, we did. Was nice. Yeah, there was a tour group that came in while we were sitting there dangling our legs in. But, yeah, it was really quite nice. I can see how on a cold night this would be really, really warm and really nice. On to William Creek Hotel, which was quirky and weird.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Loved it. People put all of their business cards on the roof, but they also put their IDs and driver's licenses and everything. And they wrote all over the walls.
The staff were friendly, really nice.
Yeah, super friendly staff. And then out the back was actually heritage listed, this little section here. So you're not allowed to write on the walls there, but the way they've set it up is actually really good. You see some pubs, people try, but they don't really hit the mark. This pub's hit the mark. It's really cool. So I love that. Population 12 living at William Creek. If you need a fire truck, don't call them. And if you need a driving school, that worries me as well because it's also towing the water truck. And then, we were heading off up to Udnadatta. We know we will go to Coober Pedy later, but we're heading up to Udnadatta. This was our first river crossing.
Woohoo!
It was exciting.
It was a bit exciting.
And looking at water is kind of exciting for us because everything's been so dry. And just another road sign. It's like every time we see a road sign, we've got to take a photo of it. And we made it into Oodnadatta.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot accuse us of not taking this thing off-road. Look at this. She used to be black. Now she's a browny, grey, smeary, covered in mud kind gal. And we actually have had a little bit of a casualty with her. Nothing too bad. But we've, underneath there, that mud splat, there's supposed to be some reflectors which have been broken off. And actually under that mud splat, the paint's all come off as well. Other than that, it's been quite uneventful. But the car's a little bit dirty. Dirty Jeep. She's a bit dirty. But that's all right. Bits of chunks. You know, she can have a wash. But it's been fun. So you're not going to be able to see this very well. Actually just looks like bird poo or something, but we've had to do a bit of a repair kit. We had a nice big chunk taken out around here. We've got a huge crack going down here. We've got another one going up there and another one coming down this way. So we've got very delicate driver's side window just from a car going past, flicked up a stone. I mean, what can you do? There's not much you can do. But apart from some reflectors and some paint peeling off on the van or the camper trailer, it's not too bad, just a bit of mud. Oh, I think I'll ask Josh to undo those ones. Ugh. But pretty good so far. So our fridge is just a little dusty. Meant to be a nice grey colour, but no, just a little dusty. Inside the camper's not too bad. One other cupboard seems to cop it, but yeah, the fridge, she cops it. And one to mark off my bucket list is the Udnadatta Roadhouse, despite some idiot at Monday telling us it's not worth it. It was great. We loved it. We camped out the back. There's just a little bit about Udnadatta and how it came about, but it's pink on the outside, it's pink on the inside. There's Josh just ordering another beer.
Well,
yeah, as you do.
As you do.
It's very pink, yeah. And then after Udnadatta, we headed up to Agnes Creek, which is where we were supposed to hopefully see some budgies. We wanted to see some budgies.
Good little spot.
Yeah, good little spot.
Hey guys, Josh here. We are on day 14 or 15 of our big trip. say distance-wise. We are on the Udnadatta track, heading towards Marla. Kari's not on camera because she's not feeling too good and would rather not be on camera. We had a good night at Oodnadatta last night, and the car's going well, the camp is going well, and lots of grids on these roads. Yeah, we're having a good time. It's the beautiful weather. I don't know if you can see out the window here. Nothing else around, dead flat, no trees. But yeah, it's fun. You should try it. See ya. Hey guys, it's about 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. We've just stopped for morning tea in the middle of fuck nowhere. There's literally nothing around. It's crazy. Love it.
Okay, here we are. We are at Agnes Creek, family of Osama bin Laden over here.
Oh,
The flies are
I
bad.
love your camel.
You shouldn't joke about that. The flies are super bad. Super bad. Agnes Creek, we came here because we heard there was budgies, and they're my favourite birds, and they're magpies, and I've seen magpies but I haven't seen budgies. There's other birds, coloured birds. So we've put out a little bit of water and we're hoping that the budgies are going to come for a drink. But yeah, we've seen budgies before in our trips, but just not here.
We did see a few colourful birds on the way up the Udnadatta track today.
Yeah.
Bright green, no idea what they were.
No.
They look nice though.
Fluoro green. They were great. Tiny little birds. They weren't budgies.
No.
No creek water. So it's just a dry creek bed, but it would be beautiful if there was water in it.
If there was water, it would be spectacular. It would be really nice. There's lots of huge gum trees in the middle of it, and yeah, it'd be really nice. We're probably about half an hour, 45 minutes from the Northern Territory border, south of the border.
Beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful day. We'll pop in some video of some of the scenery. But it is absolutely beautiful day. If we could just get rid of the flies.
There's no wind, there's no clouds.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And I'm recovering from a head cold, so I'm feeling much better now. But yeah, basically I've had 4 days now.
Oh, yeah, it's been crap.
It's been pretty bad. But I'm pardon me. But I am definitely on the upside now. I think 2 days ago was my worst day. I didn't know where to put myself. So never nice being sick, but when you're sick on holidays, it's horrible. But the nice weather certainly helped. I just don't think I was pulling my weight with setting up and packing up and stuff like that, but I was trying. But coughing and spluttering all night's never fun. But yeah, so really looking forward to tomorrow. We go to Alice Springs.
Yep.
We stay at Dad's.
Yep.
So we're there for 2 or 3 nights, we're not too sure yet. And then we're moving on, so we'll film from there. Also hoping to... sorry, I have a fly under my sunglasses. also hoping at Alice Springs to just get a cable which can attach my phone to my laptop so that I can get rid of a lot of the stuff off my phone. I've got no space to do any more videos.
Also at Alice Springs, there's a brewery and we need to go to it.
Yes, because we haven't drunk enough beer.
No, but there's a brewery in a different state we haven't been to. We need to do it.
This is true.
It's our duty.
Yes, support small business. There we go. So
I love
yeah,
your camel.
So hopefully we'll get. You're a dickhead. Hopefully we'll be able to sort out our videos a little bit more and be able to post a little bit. At the moment, it's a storage issue. He doesn't need another brewery. Someone send help, please. You're a wood duck. You're an absolute
Wood duck.
You are an absolute wood duck.
Wood duck.
Have you not
Where
heard?
did that come from?
You haven't heard that?
No.
God, we used to say that all the time. You're a wood duck.
I don't know what that means.
You know, it was up there with Spanner and, you know. Oh my God, I'm filming. Agnes Creek. Just beautiful. Just need water.
Leaving Agnes Creek, heading north into the Northern Territory towards Alice Springs. Quite excited. I haven't seen my dad for a while. It's going to be awesome. And we're crossing into the Northern Territory.
It was strange that they didn't have a nicer border, but then further down the street they had this.
They
But
had a big sign. A bit hard to see.
Bit hard to see, but it does say welcome to the Northern Territory.
Culgore Roadhouse.
This was weird.
It was interesting. Yeah, good for stretch your legs, I guess.
Yeah, and it was novelty. Like they had sculptures, and there's a close-up of that guy and a dog. But inside they had bras hanging from the ceiling. Which
Great place to go.
I wasn't taking mine off. Didn't have one on. And then in the other room they had hats and things like that as well. So it was a novelty. But if you didn't want to hang up your bra or your hat, you could hang up your shoes outside on the clothesline. And as always, they have this little bit of information, which was pretty cool. But the next road sign was a bit exciting.
Alice Springs, baby!
Yeah,
woo,
so
here we
exciting.
come.
And we knew that we'd actually have a rest for a couple of days. So 274 Ks to go until we could rest for 3 nights.
We wanted to do 130, but the camper on the back wouldn't let us.
Yeah, so we stayed on 100. But that's okay. That is okay. And then, of course, coming in, they've got this ACE sign for Alice Springs. But the best thing of all...
Dun, dun, dun. Here's my old boy, Michael, Mike, Nick, Daddy.
Okay, he's gone a bit weird.
Yeah.
But we've had...
And he's shrunk a bit too.
He has shrunk a little bit. We've been here a couple of days now, absolutely loving our trip. We're going to do a single video just on Alice Springs alone. But we've had a great time. We've loved being with Michael.
Yeah, it's good fun.